Two frames can have the same subject, the same structure, the same lighting, the same camera, and still feel completely different. Why? Because one has depth, and the other doesn't. Film is a flat medium, but great directors make it feel three-dimensional, and that illusion is where power lives. That's what we're building today. This is part 3 of the Shot Composition series. In part 1, we talked about how to control attention, how points tell the eye where to land, and how lines decide where it moves next. In part 2, we looked at how order and chaos are structured inside a frame, how symmetry creates calm, how asymmetry creates tension, and how the greatest directors design all of that deliberately. Now in part 3, we go deeper. We're looking at depth, power, and emotional pressure, and how the 3 planes of your frame can make an audience feel the weight of a scene before a single word is spoken.
Depth is not just foreground blur. It's not just shallow focus. Depth is how many planes of meaning exist inside your frame. Foreground, midground, background. Each plane carries information, and whoever controls those planes controls power. When everything sits on the same visual layer, the image feels flat. When layers separate, hierarchy appears. And hierarchy creates emotion. And the first place directors start shaping that depth inside a frame is the foreground. Foreground elements do more than create dimension. They create pressure. A doorway partially blocking a character. A shoulder entering the frame. A wall cutting into the edge of the image. Those elements aren't decoration. They compress space. Look at The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese. In many scenes, characters are framed through doorways, windows, mirrors, tables, or objects placed in the foreground. The space feels layered. Some characters occupy clear visual ground, while others are partially obstructed. And that subtle obstruction changes how power feels inside the frame, because the frame itself decides who dominates the space. Foreground is control. It decides who has room to breathe, and that's a composition decision. Before you place your subject, ask what's between the camera and them. Because the foreground isn't empty space waiting to be filled, it's the first layer of meaning your audience reads. But depth doesn't stop at what's closest to the camera. What happens in the middle of the frame matters just as much. The midground is usually where your subject lives, but what surrounds them matters. If a character stands alone in the midground with clear space behind them, they feel exposed. If they are surrounded, boxed in, compressed by background elements, they feel pressured. Look at There Will Be Blood, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Daniel Plainview is often positioned against vast negative space. Sometimes he dominates it. Sometimes it swallows him. Same character, different emotional weight. Depth shifts power. That's composition doing emotional work. You didn't change the character. You didn't change the lighting. You changed the relationship between your subject and the space around them, and the audience felt it. But the midground doesn't operate alone. Behind your subject, further back past where most directors look, is where the scene breathes or suffocates. That's the background, and it's never just scenery. The background is not background, it's context. It answers, where are we? What surrounds this character? What is pressing against them? In Blade Runner 2049, directed by Denis Villeneuve, characters are often dwarfed by architecture. The background isn't passive, it dominates. In Dune Part 2, scale becomes emotional language. A character reduced to a small silhouette against vast desert space communicates destiny and isolation without dialogue. Depth gives scale meaning. This is what separates a shot from a statement. When your background is intentional, when it's chosen, not just accepted, it stops being behind the story. It becomes part of it. So now we have 3 planes: foreground, midground, background, each one carrying weight. But here's the question. Which one does the audience actually feel? That's not decided by what's in the frame. It's decided by what's in focus. Before we go further, I need to say something important. If you're a filmmaker who's watched this series and you're still guessing where to place your camera across different scenes, if you've watched your work get ignored while others get the recognition, the clients, and the respect,
Or you've lost an opportunity because your shots didn't land the way they should have, even after multiple reshoots. Then listen carefully. Right now, there is a pre-order open for something built to solve this problem permanently. It's called the Shot Composition Bible. And this is not a collection of tips you already know. This is a system that shows you exactly how to control attention, emotion, and story meaning inside your frame, so you're not guessing or reshooting. The link to get the guide is in the description. Now let's continue. Depth isn't just about layers. It's about which layer matters. Shallow focus isolates. Deep focus distributes power across the frame. Look at Django Unchained, directed by Quentin Tarantino. In several scenes, multiple planes remain visible at the same time. When Django and Dr. Schultz are planning inside the room before going to Candyland, you can see the slaves moving outside through the glass in the background. Foreground, midground, background. All readable at once. The audience can observe the private conversation while still feeling the world outside the room. Deep focus lets multiple layers of meaning coexist in a single frame. You're not forced to look at only one thing. You can see the hierarchy of the scene unfolding across depth. And you see a similar use of depth in Silence, directed by Martin Scorsese. Characters often occupy the foreground, while villagers, landscapes, or structures remain visible deeper in the frame. That depth connects the character to the world around them. Because deep focus doesn't isolate, it reveals relationships between people, between power, between the individual and the world they're trapped inside. And that's a compositional choice. Shallow focus is a closed door. Deep focus is an open room. Neither is right or wrong, but both are decisions. The frame doesn't tell you which to use. The story does. Focus determines what we prioritize, but depth determines how we understand the scene. Quick pause for a second. If this video is helping you understand how depth and power work inside a frame, hit the like button and subscribe to Breadfruit Studios if you haven't already. It helps other filmmakers find the video. If you want a complete step-by-step system for building depth like this into your own shots, we put it all together in the Cinematic Depth System. This is the secret to crafting cinematic shots, films, and videos that stop the scroll and stick in your audience minds forever. Click the link in the description to get your copy. Now, let's continue. When you combine depth with structure and attention control, something changes. Now, you're not just guiding the eye, you're guiding emotional interpretation. Place a character close to camera with blurred world behind them. They feel dominant. Place them far away, small against a layered environment. They feel insignificant. Depth is emotional pressure. It tells the audience how big someone is in their world, physically, psychologically, narratively. This is what composition actually is, not rules, not grids, not formulas. It's the deliberate arrangement of visual information to make an audience feel something specific before a single word is spoken. Foreground, midground, background, focus. These aren't technical categories, they're tools. And now you know how to use them. In part 1, we controlled attention. In part 2, we designed structure. Now you understand depth. When you combine all three, points, structure, depth, you're no longer placing a camera, you're designing power. And that's the difference between shooting a scene and directing one. Shot composition is not one thing, it's a system. Attention tells the eye where to go. Structure tells the frame how to feel. Depth tells the audience where the power lives. When all three work together, every frame you build becomes intentional. Every image earns its place. That's what Breadfruit Studios is about. Not just understanding film, building it deliberately. If this series helped you see the frame differently, hit that like button and subscribe to Breadfruit Studios, because we're just getting started. Share this video with a filmmaker who needs it. And if you want to go deeper, comment below and tell us, what's the next part of filmmaking you want to break down? We'll build it.